My friends. Oh, the weather is so amazing. It's spring here in Santa Cruz, California. I hope you're enjoying it wherever you are. It does kind of bring everything back to life, and the joy comes out, the aliveness, the colors, the vibrancy. It's amazing. That's probably also what's happening with all of us, that the vibrancy of who we are, which has been lying dormant for a long, long time, more than just the winter. We are beginning to sprout, and our colors and vibrancy and beauty and aliveness is actually beginning to sprout and grow and become available to us in a way that we have not experienced before. But we do need to put our attention on it. It's probably different, with a seed that's been in the ground all winter and then it starts sprouting and it comes out. And I don't think the seed itself needs to pay attention to it because it's just happening naturally. But I would say we've been in such a slumber for so many thousands of years that we are so conditioned to focus on the negative, what is not here, how hard it is, what a struggle life is. And in that, we are not noticing what else is here. And that's what I would like to just emphasize a little bit today. Because what is interesting is that in the world today, there really is a focus on who is the villain, who is the bad guy. And you might notice it when you have conversations with your friends that whatever political side they're on, there is a tendency to refer back to things that may not even be current anymore. And that, like, oh, it's his or her fault. And it's like there's this focusing on the villain. There is a looking for who is the villain. And I don't know what it is, guys. It does it feed a part of us when we do that? Does it kind of give us a sense of power that we can be angry about it? Is that the only sense of power that we have access to by contracting and being angry and pointing fingers and say, oh, he's the villain and that's the perpetrator and it's his fault or her fault? That is It's basically just the old conditioning of the matrix that we have all been programmed, conditioned, and trained to do, even shaped. It's like we've been put into this shape where we look for the negative and we look for what's hard. And we are missing what is also happening. I'm not denying the fact that we have gone through, well, probably thousands of years of hardship in one way because we've lived in this sense of duality where we have been separated from our true divinity. And that is hard, absolutely. But then we can even just go back to the last 5 years or so, where it's been very, very hard. We have been going through a lot of letting go, a lot of having to look inside, also a lot of finger pointing and blaming and looking for that villain. And we don't want to continue doing that because that will be feeding the old system. And even though the system is collapsing and it's flat on the floor, there's still the ghost of it is still here. And the more we fight the ghost and say, oh, that ghost is the villain, you every time you do, you blow energy into it. So it kind of gets a little more life in it. And we don't want to do that anymore. We have to realize what we have been conditioned to do for so long. It's not a matter of blaming anybody, definitely not yourself. This is a program that we have been somehow accepting because maybe there was another program before that that prevented us from doing some critical thinking or let it run through your system first before you just accepted it. And we need to get back to that self-sovereignty, self-awareness, our divine consciousness. As long as we keep focusing our attention on the outside, looking for who is the bad one, right? I shared that before. It's like you go to one of these theater plays, it's like a murder mystery, right? And you have to figure out, who's the bad one, who did it, yeah, who did it. And that is fun because there's an excitement in it, and the mind loves to solve mysteries, and that's fine. But we can also start solving another mystery, like who's the good one? Where's the good in life? What is beautiful out there? The spring certainly is, but there are many other things. Who are maybe there are some good guys that you're not aware of, who are working underground behind the scenes, maybe doing some alternative things. And then there's all the light workers who are, scrambling. It's like we're these little elves, in springtime. We're just really busy tending to the flowers or whatever it is. And that's because we're inviting the new to come in, the beauty, the aliveness, the things that we long for in our hearts. But as long as we are focusing on who's the villain, we read the news in a paper or online. It's like, oh, look what he did now, or oh my God, and look what he did now, and now they're doing this together, and blah blah blah. And what good does it do? Seriously, what heart in you, if you're doing this, I'm certainly not going to put it on you, but if you are, what is it? What part is being served in you by doing that? That is where we can start unhooking. It's these automated, conditioned programs. It's a trance. And we keep repeating it and repeating it because it is a program. It's not who you are. So becoming aware that it is a program, that has certainly given me space in the past. It's like it creates a gap. It's like, oh, it's a program? Like, yeah, it's a program that my body is just running on its own. It does not need my support or my help. It's just doing it. And I just go along with it. Like, oh, it's him, it's her, they're bad, they're good. It's a program. It's an impersonal program. Or one of the things that Joe Goldsmith would say, it's an impersonal hypnotic suggestion. All of it. That's a lot. And we do have choice now more than ever. And I hope that by me sharing what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing, what I'm inspired by, that it will help some people go like, oh, wait a minute, I'm doing that. I did it yesterday. I had this whole conversation with this person. We're just, putting this person down. Or last week I was doing this thing. So you start looking and realizing that you're doing a program. You're just following a program. And once you see that, just like if there's a program on your computer, you can just delete it. You can just turn it off. And that is what I'm inviting all of us to do here. So we don't keep continuing to follow and feed the programs, but we let them go. We let them fall to the side. They are falling to the side. So we have to stop bringing them back in. And more people are becoming aware of things. But there's also many, many people who are very, very upset. And I think I've shared that before. That is probably a phase we all have to go through as we start realizing how deceived we have been, how these programs that we have identified with are just all false narrative. It's just nonsense. It's BS. And when you see that and you realize, my God, I've spent my whole life engaging with that BS, there's a little bit of a oops, there can be shame, there can be upset, anger, like, well, who created this program, So that's a natural reaction to things being exposed in here or out there. And we need to make space for that to be released. That's all just stuck energy that needs to be released, but do it in a way so that you're not re-traumatizing yourself. Do it in a way where it can support you to come back to what is actually true about you. The program is not true. It has nothing to do with you. And I think that's very, very liberating to know that, because then we don't need to shame ourselves, feel guilty, feel bad. We can certainly, feel some sadness that we got so identified with it that we lost ourselves. And that's natural. So take time to grieve, take time to express the anger in a safe container, and then start bringing your attention to the spring that is coming forth in you. And then you will not be interested when you see these programs and how the emotional attachments are just feeding it and feeding it. When you see that, then you can stop. And then your interest in looking for the villain, he's the bad guy, the interest, it will get so uninteresting to you. It will even get boring. And then you have energy liberated to start focusing on your heart, the longing in your heart. What is sprouting in you? Or what would you like to sprout in you? What would you like to experience? For most of us, it's the longing we feel here. That is because we feel the new earth, the new paradigm that is here. That's what we long for. And that's why we can feel it. It's not far away. It really is right here. So it's not like we have to go on some kind of a pilgrimage to go finding it. We need to take time and take pause, figure out how to let go of our attachment, do it with some help. If you need my help, that's what I love to do. It's part of my work, if I can call it work, or my play. And then when you start releasing that, then you can start feeling like, gosh, I really want a peaceful life. I want to be able to connect with people. I want to be able to tell them that I love them. I don't want to be afraid of being rejected if I show my love. And there's so many things that lie in here waiting to come out. So this would be a turnaround. Instead of looking for who is the villain, who's the love? What is the love? Where is the love? Can we make that shift? Of course we can. But do you want to make that shift? Is it time to let go of the old paradigm that's crumbling and come home and then open up to the beauty, the colors, the flowers, the aliveness, the vibrancy, the new earth? We do have to let go of the old. So if you have been looking for the villain, you have permission, in case you need it, to stop doing that. Because as long as you will look for a villain, you will find one. So if you want a villain, stay in that path. There is another path opening up, and it's a very different path. It's like, we could call it a whole new timeline, a whole new frequency. And that's where many of us are going now. And we're moving along with that, where we practice just being in our hearts, being transparent, speaking our truth, all the things that many of us have been practicing in therapy and groups and whatever we've done. It's becoming much more real now. It's coming alive. So all the practice that we've done we're reaping the fruits for that now. And that's why many of us would want to start moving in that direction, away from the villains and the wars and whatever it is, and moving towards the oneness, the dream that we all long for. I mean, it's so here, my friends. It is so available. And it really is up to you and I to just say yes to it. So if that resonates, please share. It's always lovely to hear from you guys. And if you need help with that, you are welcome to join my next monthly gathering on April 1st. It's the first Tuesday of every month. And we'll just have an online gathering. They're usually fairly small. And there's going to be time to just share what's going on, just what is blooming in you, and how can you support yourself? What kind of support do you need in just tending to your garden? And let go of all that stuff out there. It's gonna fall on its own. There's not much you can do. They're gonna fight amongst themselves. I think that is a biblical quote. I can't remember who it was, but it was like, they were told the master they're coming, the enemy's coming. And then whoever that was, I'm not a very biblical person, but I have read some in the past. He said, look up, look up. I would say look within. And then the enemies were fighting amongst themselves. I think that's so powerful. When we pull out of what's going on in the world and look up, look in, whatever it is for you, look to the divine, look to the love, the oneness. Don't feed it out there. That out there will take care of itself. That's just how it works. So let's do our best to pull out our energies from that, let them fight amongst themselves and complete what they're doing amongst themselves. Maybe then they're ready to join us. Who knows? It's possible. All right, my friends, until we meet again.